And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren, and welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us on this sweltering hot, humid day. 85 degrees. We're going to be in the 90s the rest of the week. That's hot for the mountains. I mean, when you get up into the mountains, you expect to live somewhere where it's a little cooler. Man, they're saying an incoming heat wave. And we've got our Kowalski / FarmMax FDM 135 drum mower hooked up to our Kubota L3200 four-wheel drive tractor. We are finally getting ready to start cutting our main hay field for the first cut of the year, and it's June 29. Good grief, latest I've ever made a first cut. Unreal, unreal. Just the weather this year has been so unpredictable. The weather forecasts have been so bad. We get a couple of really nice, beautiful haymaking days, and then they say rain for one day, and then a couple more beautiful days, and then rain again. And sometimes we don't cut because they're saying in 2 days rain all day, you know, like 90%, 80%. Then that day comes and it just clouds up and gets real overcast. Never rains a drop here. We just missed a whole week worth of cutting. The weather forecasts have been so crazy that you just don't know what to believe. I don't know that the weather guessers know themselves. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pretend to be the weatherman. And anytime you're getting ready to cut hay and you want to see the weather forecast, come back to this video and watch this. Hello folks, I'm Chief Meteorologist Huendez, and welcome to WXYZ. I am your professional meteorologist, and we're out visiting a local farm today, and the farmer wants to know the forecast for the next 2 days, and I'm going to give him a 100% accurate weather forecast. Here is my forecast for the next 2 days. It's going to clear off cloudy and come a dry drizzle. That's my forecast, folks, and it can't be wrong. Get your sunscreen and your umbrella and put on your swimming trunks and your winter coat and get ready for the weather that's coming. That's 100% accurate. Now back to our local sports reporter. That's funny, to me it is, but it's accurate. Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna clear off cloudy and come a dry drizzle. I think I sometimes could predict the weather forecast, and I know nothing about it as good as some of these weather guessers do. You can look at the weather forecast and it literally changes by the hour. When you look at a forecast and it says a chance of scattered thunderstorms, well, that's, if your particular area, that's just a guess. It could or it could not. It could be cloudy, it could be sunny. It could clear off cloudy and come a dry drizzle. So our forecast has like 10% chance of rain rest of today, and it's about noon. And we have like a 45% chance tomorrow. But earlier in the morning, it said like a 32% chance. Now it's up to 45, and later it'll say 70, and by nighttime tonight, it'll say 20. If I keep watching these forecasts and watching these percentages, the high ones, then it goes back down high, and I say, well, I better not cut hay because it might rain tomorrow. I'll never get this cut. I mean, I will literally never get this main hayfield cut. And it's already, the stems, the tall fescue, the orchard, the stems are brown. I mean, it's just, drought conditions. We're gonna get about half the hay off this field, I think, that we would normally get. Maybe less, I'm not real sure. The Timothy seed heads are starting to turn brown, but the stems are not. The stems are still green, but there's quite a bit of undergrowth under there. that should make for some decent hay. This coming winter it'll be better than a snowball. So we're gonna cut it and just get what we get and go from there. We got our drum mower all ready to go, and we're fixing to start laying this hay down. And let's walk out here and take a quick look at it. Okay, as you can see, the stems are Orchard and Timothy are toast. One good thing about it, it's reseeding our field with Orchard and Timothy and tall fescue, because the Timothy is, some of it's browning up, some's not. Like right here is a Timothy patch, and let me pull one of them, you can see it. It's not browned. See the Timothy? The Timothy in it still looks good. Okay, if I just go right here and pick one of these tall fescue, look at that. I mean, some of it's got a little green in it. Look at that. Nothing we can do about it. It's gonna have some good Timothy in it. But down in it, you can see, down in it, the leafy material, what did come on after we finally started getting a little bit of rain, is good. It's leafy, it's good. Not near as thick down in there as our normal cuts would be because of the drought through April and May, and we're still in a severe drought. But it's not quite as bad as it was earlier because we've been getting some few small evening showers along to keep the grass start growing a little bit better. So you'll see it as we go along cutting. I'll mount a camera to the tractor so you can see some of this hay as we're going along. There's places up here at the top of our field, it's pretty thick. There's places on down toward the bottom where it gets steeper and the water runs off worse, that it's pitifully thin. I mean pitifully thin. Drought, D-R-O-U-G-H-T, no rain for so many months, and it's just decimated our first cut. But we're gonna get what we can get off of it and ask the good Lord for a favor that we get rain occasionally coming along after we get this up for a really good second cut. All right, let's get started. Let's see what Fernando says on the weather. One last look. This is a gamble. It's a 50-50 roll of the dice if this hay's gonna get rained on or not. And if it does, I think it'll be tomorrow. So that would be best case scenario. Best case scenario would be this evening if we have to have rain right after we cut it. But tomorrow wouldn't be terrible either. I just don't want it on the 3rd or 4th or 5th day. And the rains we've been getting have been very, very light in our rain gauge. It can come a shower here and you go look in the rain gauge and there's barely enough in the bottom to even register. So it's been very light showers. Like pour the rain for like 3 minutes and then it's gone. The forecast again, tomorrow, now they're saying 50% chance tomorrow. For tomorrow, partly cloudy with scattered thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Scattered thunderstorms. That, in other words, they're saying where you're at it might or it might not. They don't know. Fernando's forecast is accurate. It's going to clear off cloudy and come a dry drizzle. We're going to go with Fernando's forecast. So let's fire up the Kubota. It's warm. I've done had my drum mower up on our pavement on the driveway at home and leveled it up this way and this way, squared it behind the tractor. PTO's been greased, hooked up, the gearbox oil's been checked. Everything looks good. Let's start cutting this main hayfield. I cut it in 2 sections. I start with this top section and cut it. Then I cut the bottom section. So when I'm baling it, I just cut it the same way I bale it. So if I bale this up here first, that gives me a place to make good straight windrows and not be against the fence up there. And I can come through the baler and have plenty of room just to turn and start right back down another windrow. So let's get this drum mower fired up. We used this drum mower to cut the test plot and the west field for our first cut with these new blades on it. Man, did that thing cut fantastic. Didn't miss a sprig of grass nowhere that I could see. And it cut so level and pretty out through those fields, they looked great when we got done baling. So I've not changed anything, I've just checked everything, fluids and stuff like that. So let's fire it up and get started cutting finally our last cut of first cut hay.
The hill, it's going to get a little thicker and a little thicker. You can sure see what ground's holding water and what's not. Drum mower's loud.
after I make 2 or 3 rounds cutting hay, I always like to stop my tractor. It's just my routine. Get off and rake aside some of these windrows that the drum mower leaves and check my cut quality. I like to look at it. And right there is a weed. I'm gonna get out of there. Yep, where I've had to wait and wait and wait. I've not done my 2,4-D treatments. I'm just gonna throw that out. No matter, 3rd gen, there goes your rooster. No matter what somebody tells you, if they say 100% weed-free hay, I call BS on that. This stuff's not grown in a greenhouse. If they've got a 100-acre greenhouse that they cut hay in, then yes, I'd believe it. Otherwise, I don't. But let's look at our cut quality. Okay, let me rake aside some of this. Okay, just right in here. More hay here kind of than what I was anticipating, but the thin part gets when we get right down in there. Okay. It's looking pretty good. All right, I'm satisfied with that. That's looking pretty good. All right, let's get back on the tractor, keep cutting. Last first cut of 2026 is finally done. We're finished, and it's took a couple hours, and good grief, it's hot out here. I feel like a piece of roasted bacon out here. I ain't kidding you. Triple fried. The hay is past prime, but if you look, see the stems, that looks bad. But if you look down in it, the undergrowth is not bad. There's a lot of Timothy in it, and we've got a few more weeds than normal just because we had to wait so long to be able to cut, and it allowed time for some weeds to come on. But I'd say the yield will be half, maybe a little more than half. There's a little more undergrowth that's come on since we done our first cuts in the west field and the test plot. But the further down the hill you get, the thinner the hay gets, and I don't know. I'd say half. I'm still gonna stick with half for right now. And the weather forecast still looks the same for right now. They're saying like a 40. Let's just take a quick look. I forgot what Fernando said. It's something about it's gonna clear off cloudy. Tomorrow, well, it's dropped down to 35% for tomorrow. See there? If I'd have stuck with what it said earlier, about 4 hours ago, I wouldn't even have cut today. Because it said 50, I can't remember exactly, 56% for tomorrow or something. It's already dropped down to 35. It says tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning with scattered thunderstorms later in the day. Chance of rain 35%, so it just keeps dropping. But by tomorrow morning it'll be back up to 80. I'll check in with Fernando and see what he says about the weather. I'm pretty sure he said that it would come a dry drizzle tomorrow. So if you don't watch the professional Never Wrong Fernando on WXYZ public radio, you need to listen to his weather forecast. He's an expert. Go back to the beginning of this video and you can see him on there. So our last cut's done. We're going to get our leaf blower and get everything blowed off our drum mower. It run good. Everything went smoothly. We're going to get our drum mower blowed off, get it parked back under our equipment shed, and get our tedder hooked up. I'm hoping to ted this out this evening. Okay, the mowing is done, or cutting, whichever you want to call it. And we've got the MVP of the hayfield, the hay tedder, hooked to the tractor. The PTO's hooked and all that. Making sure our tines are adjusted good. That looks pretty close. If I'm going along and I'm missing a lot of hay, I'll get off and lower it or adjust it back up. Whatever I need to do as we're going. I'll make, 100 yards and keep an eye on it and see how it's going. I am tickled pink that we've got enough time today, this evening, to ted this. Cut it and ted it, get it tedded the same evening while the sun's still out. It's about 5 p.m. now, and we started mowing about noon, so I've been mowing about 4 hours. And we've got the tedder hooked up now, and we're ready to start tedding this. Actually, let me tell you, actually it's 15 after 5. We've still got a couple hours of sunlight on this freshly cut hay to get it spread out of these swaths. You can see them, that the drum mower leaves. Get this spread out into the sunlight for those stomatal openings on all those leaves to stay open. And this hay is, the top part of the field is pretty darn good except for the brown stems, but all the undergrowth's pretty good. The lower section, not so good. It's just thin, very, very thin. There's a few more weeds in it than I've seen in years. I guess it's just because we had to wait so long. We will be using some herbicides just as soon as we get this baled. And urea, we're going to be fertilizing and spraying and things like that for second cut. But let's get this MVP of the hayfield started. This is a Rhino PT 207 2-basket hay tedder. This thing is phenomenal. Let's get started. I feel like a baked potato. It is hot out here. It's been hot all day and I feel like I'm just baked. My skin is like beyond brown. And it's a farmer tan, look at that. You know, tedding's done, first tedding. And the hay's thick in places. The undergrowth come on fairly good. I shouldn't say thick. The undergrowth come on better in places than it did others. And the lower off the field you get, the thinner and thinner and thinner the hay gets. But it is what it is. We're gonna make the best out of it we can. I think there's gonna be more hay here than we need for our own use, for our sheep. So we may end up supplying some friends or selling, whatever, with some of this hay. And the plus to it, there's negatives. It's the stems are brown. The fescue and the orchard stems are brown, but the orchard and fescue leaves underneath it are not. Okay, but there is some good things too. The good thing about it is the leaves is in good shape, and the second good thing about it is the timothy's still green, even the stems. Right here, some. Look at that. That's not one. That right there was a fescue seed head. And let me separate it out. You can see that timothy seed head is still green. The stem, if you find through the timothy and sort through it, all the timothy's still green, which is a good thing, because timothy is your highest nutritional value hay and the softest, most palatable hay in the field. And it's in the best shape. So it is what it is. We'll make the best hay out of it we can. I enjoy tedding hay. Kick that tractor up in high range second gear and kick back in your seat. And I wish I could have a cup of coffee, but it's too hot. Believe it or not, I'll have some here in a little while when I get in some air conditioning. But kick back in the tractor seat and just let that rhino do its thing. And it's all tedded out, so we're gonna stay on top of tedding it because it is steamy. The stems are, a lot of them brown, just like that. All that fescue seed head right there, the stem. But you can see under it, there's plenty of green. It is what it is. We'll make the best hay out of it we can, and we'll ted it tomorrow. At least once. We'll ted it mid-morning when all the dew's off, midday, and we may ted it again tomorrow evening. We're going to try to get our 12-volt water transfer pump installed for our livestock tomorrow, and maybe after we're done with that by tomorrow evening, we might ted this again. Speed up the drying process, because that tedder is the MVP of the hayfield. Thanks for being with us today as we finally finished our first cut of the year, finally. And Fernando said the weather forecast for tomorrow was going to be excellent, and there's no way he can be wrong, because he said it's going to clear off cloudy. So tune in to WXYZ radio. He's an expert meteorologist. If you missed his forecast, go back to the beginning of this video. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it, and I pray God blesses you and your family. And we pray y'all have a fantastic day.